everything. And let me turn it over to our amazing digital organizing director, Nicole, who is just instrumental in our entire field program and everything that we've accomplished. Nicole.
Thank you. Captain's log, stardate 98403.34. Our mission of voter registration is underway. However, the constraints of outreach have been reaching a limit. The prime directive set by Admiral Berlin and Vice Admiral Robinson has been slowly being accomplished. However, I worry we lack the necessary crew to complete the proper mission. I have put my ship in at DS9, hoping to pick up some new recruits and, with a little bit of training, complete our complex but important mission. In the words of my mentor, if we're going to be damned, let's be damned for what we really are. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Text Banking with Field Team 6 and Star Trek actors. My name is Nicole Mlodzik, and I am simply going to be your engineer for this. I gave myself a temporary promotion of captain, and I'm now demoting myself back to make sure I am taking care of everything to make sure that you all get set up to text with Field Team 6 and our wonderful cast today. So I am going to first, of course, jump us all onto the platform that we are going to use to answer your questions, which is called Slack. Some of you may be familiar with it, some of you may not. Simply, my wonderful moderation team here is going to drop the link to get on, and we are going to get you all onto this system first. This is where you will ask your questions personally, and we will save the chat for comments with the cast, shouting out different things that are happening, and of course, all of your Star Trek related puns. I've got like 15 more on standby if they don't shut off my mic. But Slack is where you can ask questions and look for answers anytime you're texting with our Spoke system. We will also post links to new campaigns here, but we will also make sure that the general campaign link is open as well. Click the Slack invite link we provide or copy and paste it into your browser and simply put your email address to join Field Team 6 on Slack. Simply confirm that email address. We want to make sure you're not a robot or an artificial intelligence looking to assimilate all of our information. Sorry about that, Jerry. But you fill in all of the information, including your full name and a unique password, and you've created an account on Field Team 6's Slack. Simply, we do recommend using the format of, here's my question, I'm texting with the Star Trek people, or I'm texting Colorado, just so that our wonderful moderators can make sure that they get out and have a conversation with you and get you all the necessary information. Simply post in the hashtag Textbanking channel, and our moderators will reply. They will reply to you, however, with a fun tool called Threads. And simply just to know, your responses and their replies to you will pop up under your initial question. If we simply cluttered the chat with all of the tagging, we would be as confused and scrambled, and we would have nothing and no way to fly this starship home, and we'd probably be stuck in the Gamma Quadrant for a few years. Anyways, we are going to be communicating with you in this way, and you'll see little faces and replies when our moderators reach out to talk with you. To see threads that you had posted, simply click on the left side of your screen or on the initial posting. As you can see here, Eileen made a comment about being reported to the police, and Maura commented. There are going to be other comments that come up, like questions about how to respond to something, questions about wrong numbers. Any questions for the actors, again, we're having in Zoom, so none of those will be answered on Slack. However, we will be answering any text-related questions that we have going out. Just a quick, brief overview. You can use Slack as an app or on your desktop and simply download the Slack application if you wish, or sign in on a web page at ft6.slack.com if you wish to go back and check back in. So thank you for starting off on our mission to register Democrats and save the world. And now I'm going to show you all how to work on Spoke Rewired, and then we're going to get you all texting as soon as this training is over. Now, if you've texted with Field Team 6 before in the past month or so, you may have joined us for a slightly older version of Spoke, a slightly less advanced. We've upgraded our intelligence and brought in the new Enterprise, and we've made sure that we are taking every precaution to get as many texts sent out as fast as we can. Go ahead and sign up at the link my moderation team is dropping in the chat right now. And if you have any questions or issues, specify that and they'll make sure to take care of you, get you over to Slack and answer any questions you have about signing up for an account, because we want to make sure we can boldly text everyone that we've never texted before. I'm on like number 5 or 6. If someone wants to keep a count for me, thanks. Simply sign up with your name, email, cell number, and password. Now, don't worry, we're not selling this information and the Romulans have no access to it, but we're definitely going to make sure that it's protected and it does not get sent to the voters. This is simply to verify that you are a real person texting us. And again, you're not trying to take over our data. Nobody would want to. He's such a lovable scamp, and that cat. Oh, anyways, as I said, I've got a lot of these prepared. Once you get in, you're going to come to a main screen that is ready to text. Then you're going to see a general assignment or a Star Trek assignment. For those of you who have been added to the Star Trek texting team, simply click request more texts and then send first text to go ahead and get them sent and start contacting the voters. Once you get to the texting screen, you're going to see that pre-scripted message. Yep, our system AI does everything and takes care of it for you. All you have to do is press send a bunch of times and the computer does the rest. Sadly, it cannot replicate you in Earl Grey tea hot, but it comes with its advantages. Once you send your first initial text, you're going to come back to a ready to text screen. Want to send more? Simply request more. Want to send fewer? Ask for fewer. You can request up to 100 in a batch, and you can absolutely request 30 if you want to give it a try, or 50 or 100 if you're ready to just get up and go warp speed directly toward our voter contact. If you're still waiting for replies, simply means that nobody's replied back to you, and you're just waiting for the communication so that you can hail them on the screen. What do you do when someone actually responds? You tap your communicator badge and you answer them, right? Kidding. You're going to see a send replies button right here that you simply click, and you're going to be brought into the reply screen where me and my engineering team have a numerous amount of tools ready to go to keep the warp core stable. Under the current question, are they following the prime directive and getting registered? Simply click one of the following messages that will tag the question as already registered, already voted, moved, pro-Trump, no, yes, or wants to register, wrong number, or maybe they're too busy and they're battling some Klingons right now and they have to wait so that they can take a break once they, well, I guess if they're battling Klingons, they won't probably make it out because today is a good day to text voters. Gotcha there. Kapla. If none of these references do reach out to you, well, the Star Trek references, of course, are getting you, but if none of the questions that you see respond to adequately communicating from a voter, simply go into the canned responses section where we have provided further explanation and information, and you can, maybe you're not going to arm the phasers and the photon torpedoes right now, but you're going to try a diplomatic negotiation, which we also have here, and we can definitely have conversations with. Unfortunately, we do get some voters who wish no longer to contact us, and we have to obey the prime directive and not contact them. We simply have to opt them out from further communication and leave them be. We cannot interfere with their lives any longer. Simply, if they say stop, don't text me, leave me alone, or a clear indicator that they do not want to be communicated, we go ahead and opt them out. If the phone number belongs to a minor, or they say, Johnny's grounded right now and is a minor, I've had that response before. Unfortunately, we still have to opt them out, even though we can encourage Johnny to, once he gets ungrounded, to watch the latest season of Star Trek Picard. And if they're also vulgar or abusive, obviously, we do not want to respond to vulgar or abusive people, albeit from, telling them off a little bit, but that's not what we're going to be doing today because we are going to be polite and positive. So if they do vulgarly assault us, we go ahead and opt them out to make sure that they are no longer communicated and they're marked as a do not travel to system, and we can just, leave them be and let them continue to be observed. Using our pre-scripted question responses generates our data tags. Wrong number, moved, pro-Trump, yes, already registered. These let people like me know how we can declassify the data so that we can continue to do the best outreach and sometimes make sure that we put the best use for the information that we are getting. And opt-out is always the highest priority. So I know our prime directive is register voters, but our superior prime directive, section 13, is to opt out. When you have a response back, you'll get the reply. You'll see a current question response, and then you will see the pre-populated script. So the script that pops up in there when you tell the voter, when you tag the voter as already registered, and you can go ahead and send the reply. You see the canned responses, the opt-out, and you can skip the manage tags section unless you're a veteran texter with Field Team 6 and want to use tags to additionally tag a conversation. This individual, for example, happens to be a Trump supporter who is a wrong number. We reached out to Charisse and Andy got on the comm. Now, I don't know where Charisse is and why her second in command is answering it, but we're not going to take the response from number one, and we're simply going to mark him as a wrong number because we wanted to speak to the captain. Again, if someone asks to be opt-out, even though they voted for Trump, we do have to opt them out in this case because they asked us not to bother them. If they don't ask, we simply mark them as pro-Trump and move on. Because sometimes, as we know, people can have a change of heart. And sometimes we can definitely reach back out and make a connection and get someone back on our side. At any time, simply return home by clicking the home button, and you'll beam yourself right back up into our main screen, ready to send replies, look at past messages, respond to messages you may have skipped because you were waiting on an answer, or of course, request more texts to continue the exploration. Again, once you've sent a question response, you may also get an additional one. In this campaign specifically, if you register someone to vote, there's a follow-up question that says, did they register? So after you say, go to Voterizer, the system will automatically prompt you when they reply to say, did they register? And if they didn't, well, then we just have them as someone that had some intent to register, and we'll follow up and check that later. But if they did say, yep, I registered, it'll send them a wonderful confirmation message because we want to keep our allies close and the Klingons in our front. If you do need to bring up a prior response or you don't see the option for current question, simply click the little arrow at the far right corner of your screen to bring up the question response, and you can simply click, are they following the prime directive and getting registered? And you can either change the answer based on new information, or you can simply find the answer you're looking for or clear the answer you gave and put another one. Want to keep going? Keep requesting more texts. We have over 300,000 contacts to reach out to tonight, and we are so excited to make sure that we text them all, and we want you all to have a lot of fun, get the chance to text the cast. And again, I've used it before, but boldly text no one who has been texted before. Now, some of these people may have been texted before, but they never responded to us, so they are not following their directives and getting registered to vote, people. So what happens when you're done sending replies, when your shift is over? Well, when your shift is over, you can absolutely step off, go do whatever you want, get yourself a meal, go to the replicator, go play on the holodeck, put the 2-year-old to bed in my case. Oh, sorry, my real life snuck in there. But refresh, refresh, refresh. Unlike on the Enterprise or on Voyager or anywhere on the DS9 system, unfortunately, we're not going to get comm badge notifications when someone texts us. So we do sadly have to refresh our computers to make sure that we can see all of the information that we're getting back from these wonderful people that we're texting. But don't worry, if you don't reply to someone for an hour, our team will automatically reassign it back, and our wonderful reply squad, which is an elite squad, kind of like, I'd say kind of like Red Squad aboard, what was it, the USS Defiant? Absolutely. So they're going to take care of it and handle any unanswered replies that you may not have gotten to, but please feel free to keep checking back, not only for new replies, but for new campaigns as well, as we continue to explore strange new text messaging. When you are done texting, if you do not wish to reply to any of the replies you have pending, simply click reassign my replies and Red Squad will take care of them lickety split. Some helpful reminders: Spoke is a web-based app, so we do recommend a computer, but you can use the texting service on a phone or tablet. Just specify that to our moderation team so that they can address it in that way. We will immediately, of course, default to assuming that you're texting on a computer. Always be positive and polite. You're representing Field Team 6, Starfleet, Section 13, Section 31, excuse me, Section 31. who probably would actually not be positive or polite, but you know, we don't have to talk about them. They don't actually exist. But remember that you are representing the resistance movement here. And so if someone does engage you, you of course can say things like, oh, bless your heart, thank you so much. Or, you know, absolutely, you know, you can give, you know, if you have the emoji for the Vulcan salute, live long and prosper, you can absolutely do that. But don't engage them or be rude or vulgar back, because you are a representative for Field Team 6. We are legally required to opt out when they ask, and if they're a minor. You don't have to opt them out if they're vulgar or abusive, but we highly recommend it. And remember, have fun, and what you're doing truly makes a difference. You are dispatching to thousands of different people. You are connecting with thousands of people across the galaxy right now to tell them of this important election and tell them of their rights and everything. You are standing and making sure that we are taking a stand to take down dictatorship, take down tyranny. Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, people. Darmok and Jalad when the walls fell. As you can see, I've been doing this for a while. What if I get a Trump supporter? Send the Trump response. What if I get a wrong number? Send the wrong number response. When do I opt out? When they ask, minor, or if they're vulgar or abusive. We get publicly available lists and refresh, refresh, refresh. Thank you for helping to register Democrats and save the world. And I'm sorry if, you know, you got some questions at first that we have to answer. I'm an organizer, not a doctor. Live long and prosper.
That was, I'm not taking over. I just want to throw in something real fast. That was amazing, Nicole.
Amazing.
Thank you. Especially considering Nicole has never watched Star Trek.
Wow.
Incredible, right?
I fell asleep to DS9 my entire childhood. And then I watched Voyager, and then I went back and rewatched The Next Generation 3 times. Then I watched Enterprise. I watch it all. I haven't had time to watch Picard because I've been working so hard in the political field.
I believe you. I do believe you. I just wanted to throw in another important